Hey, everybody. Really appreciate you coming to today's webinar. I'm James. I'm the account manager of Western Canada with MintOps. Beside me here, I have Ben. Ben is our marketing director with MintOps as well. And we wanted to put on this webinar specifically for you. There are a lot of challenges with marketing. There are a lot of questions that come to this. Constantly, Ben and I are following up with offices, finding out their progress, but really diving deep down to find what their challenges are and to present those solutions for them. So again, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Just a few housekeeping things. The webinar is being recorded. So for those attendees, you will automatically get a recording after the webinar is finished. And then chat as well. So there is a little chat button down at the very bottom of your tray. Basically, it's just a conversation bubble. If you click on that, you can send us any questions that you want. Please feel free to send them as we go. We'll answer those as we go, or if time doesn't allow us to, we may answer those at the very end. So again, just wanted to make sure that everyone's aware that it's interactive and you can talk to us at any point in time. But let's start off with the actual webinar itself, because this is the meat and potatoes of today. We want to make sure that everyone gets to not only enjoy the presentation, but again, to learn with us as we go through and finding out that operational excellence with marketing in your clinic. So today's webinar is going to be called From Hidden to High Demand, Closing the Marketing Gaps That Cost You Patience. So just as I'm going through, you will see some memes that will come up. I'm a big fan of the memes myself. The reason why I put this one here front and center is this guy has been on probably every meme, but at the end of the day, we recognize this guy. Back in the early 2000s, it was a Dos Equis commercial for beer. This guy has been labeled on pretty much everything in between. The repetitiveness of the marketing has infused this into our brain. And now every time that we see him, we have something that we can collectively go back to. So again, just starting off with a little meme here. I don't always do memes, but when I do, it becomes marketing success. So what we're going to cover today is a few points here. So first off, we're going to be talking about marketing, demystifying it, how it's not just ads, and basically it's a whole journey from the patient's search all the way to getting them booked in and them becoming a patient for life. We're going to go over growth versus consistency as well. So new patient clinics and new builds have different needs than an existing clinic altogether, which we'll, like I said, we'll dive into. Location decides your channels as well. So demographics is a huge thing. And we're going to show you some of the tools that you can utilize as well to really get a good sense of what your area is really telling you and the types of patients that we can market to, and even outside of that scope as well. How can we bring people in and recognize your brand and your clinic? Challenges on the ground. I'm going to be sharing a few of the challenges in the West from conversations that I've had with offices over the last few years, and we're also going to do analyze a real clinic live as well. Ben has already set that up, and if we have enough time, we will actually do one live with the meeting today and the webinar. And again, your clinic, your plan. We're offering a free marketing audit and live Q&A to close up the webinar for today. But we are going to pick a few of our attendees as well, and we're going to do a free audit for you. And I'll be in touch after the webinar to set that up and a meeting with Ben. So what we want you to take away is when we look at marketing today, we're looking at a complete overview and the marketing journey and understanding what that journey really looks like. We're going to talk about your channel strategies. What are available to you? Do we use a hybrid of both digital and traditional marketing? What is going to make sense for you? There's also we want you to take away the ownership and accountability part as well, and understanding what you must own as a clinic and the work that you need to do, and also understanding your relationships with your current patient base and trying to attract them while listening to their experiences. And lastly as well is fluidity. The one thing with marketing, and Ben can attest to this too, is a lot of times when we're talking, there's this preconceived notion out there just generally, not just with dental offices, but just generally, that it's kind of a one-size-all plan fits. Now, if you've talked to people who have done marketing, you will understand that that's not the case at all. You have to be fluid with your approaches. And that means that things are going to change over time, right? There's going to be uncontrollable variables. There's going to be switch in the economic status for some people, and some strategies just work better than others. So again, by staying fluid, making changes as necessary, looking back and seeing and reassessing what that looks like for you on a monthly or quarterly plan will give you the best return on investment that you can get from marketing. Just flipping to the next screen. So this is a part that I wanted to start off with myself. Here, I'm just moving my video around. I don't know if you can see this too much. Here, I'm going to move it to the bottom corner. So the starting point. So when we're looking at marketing, we have ideas as to what we want. We have ideas, and we'll talk about strategy and planning here in a little bit, of things that we need to do. But where do we start? Like what's our foundation here? And the foundation is really understanding what it is that your clinic is trying to tell you, A, through data within your own software systems, but B, also having tools like what you see here is the dental dashboard, is visualizing that data for you, so we can make better assessments based on what we see here. So again, I'm not going to get into a big thing about the dental dashboard. There's tons of metrics on here, but one key metric that I do want to focus in on, just going here to the next slide, is the last exams. And what this will tell us is it a capacity thing that we need, or is it a demand thing that we need? So when I'm looking at the last exams, what this can give me as kind of an overall is an assessment of how many patients that I am seeing at my clinic. And you can do this for 12 months versus 24 months, check the numbers between, see if there's a difference in numbers. Have I lost patients? But here, just looking at the data just for what it is, I can see that, just in this time period alone, that this clinic has about 3,800 patients, right? Now, because it has 3,800 patients, I can also see here that I have 440 patients that haven't been billed an exam code in over 12 months. So that is something that I want to focus on is, A, would I be losing these if I'm not reaching out to them? There's always going to be a story to the data that we see here too. Have some of these people moved away? Are we really at full capacity? We don't know. So when we're looking at capacity is structured as the space that's needed to accommodate the patients that are coming into the appointment, and the demand is obviously the demand of them needing your services and your dental expertise. So when we kind of look at this as well, so I've got about 3,800 patients, I start looking at what does my clinic look like. Now, each hygienist approximately can see about 1,000 patients per year. So based on this, if I wanted to look at what is my operation or what does my office look like, do I have 4 ops that are available to accommodate 4,000 patients? If I have 3 hygienists and they're all seeing 1,000 patients per year, do I have the capacity to do this? Or am I under capacity? Do I have a room available where I could actually put in another hygienist at that point, boost up my capacity, but then now I have to also look at demand of getting patients in to kind of fill up that hygienist scheduler so we can be running at full bore at all times. So again, part of this is looking at the capacity versus the actual demand. Demand will allow you to understand if you need marketing. Capacity will help you to understand if it's an operational issue and if there's something else that we may need to do to make sure that you're running, like I said, at full level all the time. Running off to the next slide here, I love my memes. So of course, Mr. Willy Wonka here telling me more about how you drive engagement. So there's quite a few things here. I'm going to let Ben jump in because Ben obviously is our marketing guru, and he's going to take over from here so he can start driving this part for you.
Hello, everyone. This is Ben. So yeah, I just want to jump in and about the marketer that are you, what type of marketer are you? because this is very important. So the first reason that me and James decided to have this webinar is because we visited lots of clinics in through many years, and also we had discussion with many of them, and we decided to, okay, so let's share all our experience step by step. So this kind of webinar with me and James is a series of webinars back to back, and at the first we wanted to start with the main idea of marketing and how you can fix your marketing and this thing, but about the channels, about the go through deep and deeper every step. So we're gonna have more webinars in the future. So probably we just write something on the slides, but we do not talk about this because, first of all, is because of the time that we do not have that much time to deeply go through all of this. Second of all, is that because we want to just give you the summary of about the marketing, not every each of them as a deeply channels. Okay, first one is what type of marketer are you? What does that mean? So every clinic, based on the clinic owner decision, they decided to have their own marketer. So like some of them, they said, okay, you know what, we do not need more patient, we have enough patients. But what is the meaning of enough patient is that you should go back to the previous slide and see that what James talked about. He exactly talked about the potential. So which means that when you say, okay, we have enough patient, which means that did you reach the potential of your clinic or not? That's important. Or some people say, okay, you know what? I really don't want any sort of marketer. I'm a dentist. So sure, that's good. Exactly who you are. You are a dentist. That's just do whatever do what you are best in it. So you're a dentist. That's good enough. Some others in the second category say, okay, so I do by myself. You are dentist, you just do whatever that you know how to do that. Like they said, okay, so okay, you know what, I do all my accounting by myself. No, I cannot. Okay, I don't have that much knowledge to do that, so let's do the accountant do accounting. So that's exactly the thing. Or no one knows my practice, I know my patients. That's perfect. We are so happy when a dentist says I know my patient, which means that you give us some data to do the better and more efficient marketing for you. That's perfect to know, but it doesn't mean that you know how to present your clinic. It just means that you know some portion of the data for a person who do marketing for you. That's fine. The third one is the people that I love them. They say, okay, so the best is to let the professionals handle it. Exactly. I love these people because they are exactly trust by themselves. They know who they are and they know how to just handle a clinic. And they know that, okay, so every person has its own professions to do that. That's great. I do just the marketing. James just do all the helping, all sort of the software, data, and others do the other things that they're professional leader. Perfect. We love these people. So that is the thing. First of all, you have to choose who you are, and you have to trust the people who are surrounding you. That's the first thing. So the next slide that I just want to talk about is this, that James gonna talk about it.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that, Ben, because again, we need to find our starting points, right? So analyzing our data, finding out if it's a supply or a capacity versus demand is one thing.
Yeah.
Then finding out what type of marketing position am I in, like how do I want to handle marketing, and then it breaks down into the next level right here, which is marketing strategy versus marketing plan. And again, with me here, no one can steal your marketing plan if you don't have a marketing plan, right? So just flipping into the next section here, I'm just going to just quickly touch on the differences between the two, right? So a marketing strategy is really defining your big picture. It's taking your goals, where you want to be, putting direction to them, and position that you want to be in the market, right? And it's focusing on the whys and the whats. So why are you targeting certain patients, and what's the value that you offer? What makes you different? What is it that you have that you can bring them in and make them patients for life? And basically that strategy will help guide you in all your decisions, because it acts as that foundation for the marketing action that you take. And as I mentioned earlier, with the fluidity, there's times where we're going to have to pivot based on that. So even if we go back and we look at our marketing strategy and we have this in place, we can then pivot on the plans and actionable items. So when we start talking about the plan itself, it outlines the execution, right? So now we have this outlined with specific actions, timelines, the things that we want to do and how we're going to take action in doing it. And it focuses now on the how and when, not the why and what. So how we're going to reach those customers, when each activity will happen. Do we have things set up to automatically go out? Do we have a timeline already built as a calendar? Is someone taking management of that, right? And then essentially that marketing plan is going to act as your roadmap and give you that step-by-step guide for your campaigns, for your budgets, and for the responsibilities, who's helping out with the
Exactly.
office
I
plan.
just want to share something. So some of the clients, they just, for example, they started a clinic from scratch, and they said, okay, you know what, man? From tomorrow, I want to go with the Google ads, Meta ads, and I wanted to distribute flyers. No, okay? Do not do many channels together when you just start your business, okay? These are already depends on many points, and that is the thing. So do not get really say that, okay, I want to go everything, I want to go all together. No, based on every steps and every stage of your clinic, you should do a marketing based on that one. It's very important. So for example, when you start your clinic, you do not have to do SEO from the first day. No, you do not have to do for example, a meta advertisement, Instagram advertisement, once there is no even post on your social media. You have to do everything as what James mentioned. Exactly, you have to do everything step by step. That's very important.
Yeah, for sure. And you and I have both seen in our experiences, offices, and not just dental offices, but other offices that we've worked with as well. I worked for a startup basically, and I was their marketing director for a year and a half. So a lot of stuff, even though I graduated college with a degree in sales and marketing, a lot of the things that I was learning in a real live environment were a lot different from the things that I was taught. And that makes sense. But one thing that we have both learned from our experiences is if you do too much too fast, you will not see the results. You burn through money that's unnecessary, and you can confuse your target audience as well. So as Ben said, taking it in a step by step is the best way to go. When we look at our next points here for marketing and demystifying marketing, right? It's not just ads, it's this whole path from the first search to a booked appointment, plus all the channels and tools and everything in between. So one thing that Ben and I were talking about is we know from what we hear, what we see, and what we know, right? Our experiences in life influence our marketing plan, even things that we've bought into, and our brand recognition and things like that. All of these experiences all come full circle, right? Marketing essentially starts by understanding people, understanding your patient base, and trying to make that as effective as possible, and working with them as to how they make decisions, right? Marketing's completely measurable. It's not guesswork. You can track what works and what doesn't. And again, when we talked about the fluidity earlier, these things like the analytics, and Ben doing a full monthly report as well to show you the analytics, how people are engaging, what is working. Do you have backlinks that are associated and keywords that are associated to your website? So when someone types in emergency dentist near me, do you come up in that Google search as well? So again, all of these things are measurable, and marketing in all reality is a system. It's not a one-time activity.
I just want to add something here, James. So marketing is measurable for sure, but which channel is the best for you, that's not exactly measurable. For example, so you are advertising on Instagram. Mostly people just check out their Instagram and Facebook after work. Mostly, I'm not telling everyone, mostly. So, and at the morning, so once they wake up, so they just go to the work and something, they say, okay, so, oh my God, so I have a teeth pain or something like that. So they are searching something on Google, but then they remember that last night while they are searching the Instagram or the scrolling, they said, "Oh, okay, so there is a Z dental clinic is near me, pops up. I said, okay, I remember that there is a Z dental. They go to the Google and they search on the Google Z dental clinic and they call you. Then once we just check the analytics, we see that, okay, so from Google, one person calling you. But honestly, it was happen once they checked the Instagram last night. So you cannot exactly say which channel works for you, but it's happened. So that is a thing in certain steps or in the certain structure of a business. You just once you just advertise on many channels. So after that, you have to start to reducing one by one. Does not bring you that much views. So that is a thing. Plan on marketing plan is very important, and yes, it is measurable. You can check that which position you are on which keyword last month, 30 days ago, 60 days ago. That's totally understandable and measurable, but not 100%. That's something you have to just keep it in your mind.
No, that makes sense, especially with the social media end, right? But again, as it was, we've had many conversations with offices, right? Marketing is a system. It's
Yeah,
not a one-time activity. It's not a one and done. Here, I need this. This is what I'm going to do. I got to my goal, and then I'm not going to do anything else, right? I have a few offices that I've talked to that are right now they're over capacity. They're booking people in, 6, 7, 8 months down the road, and one of their big things is making sure that those seats are full all the time. So they have a constant set of social media posts that are sent. They are constantly updating their website as well. They want to stay that way. So again, marketing it's a repeatable set of actions, how I have written out here. And
yeah,
all of these things keeps the clinic from growing, but it also keeps you recognized brand wise to people that are in your area and even outside of your area, right? Like look at the Dosecki guy there at the very top. The more that he's out there, the more that we saw him and the more that we remember him. And
yeah,
now it's kind of a no-brainer when you see him, right? And then also looking at and utilizing alternative out-of-the-box marketing and community involvement as well. Not all marketing has to be the traditional and the digital. And I'll give you a quick example here is I had an office about 5 years ago, right prior to COVID, actually, starting out, bought a clinic, not a lot of patients, wanted to get involved in the community, but wanted to go on a full, was trying to basically find out, what did she think that we thought would help her? And one of the things that she mentioned that she had done on her own that she said was very successful, again, out of the box, is she took time off on a weekend and actually went door to door in her neighborhood for I don't know how many blocks or whatever, like the area that she had canvassed. But as she was going door to door, she had a little flyer that was already pre-printed. All the information's on there about the clinic and stuff like that. And it was more just to put a name to a face and have that personal touch. And it was funny because after I remember this was happening over a weekend. I called her earlier the next week. She got like 10 or 12 patients just by going door to door because people were then turning around saying, you know what? Yeah, I haven't been to a dentist in a while. Are you brand new? Oh, you're just up the street? Or, I've got this tooth pain. It's been bothering me for a couple of minutes. You had a face-to-face conversation with that person. So again, like I said, there are different ways to look at this. I've had some offices go and they'll set themselves up in local schools and do like a day of dentistry program. They'll set up a little booth at a local fair as well, giving out free toothbrushes, face painting for kids, stuff like that. And then talking to the parents while this is happening as well. So there's a lot of different ways that you can engage the public and have this all fall under that same marketing umbrella.
Exactly. Right.
And so uh, I'm
Yeah, I'm
going
gonna
to,
talk about this one.
yeah.
So that's a very important section. So your accounts, your data, and your practice. Uh, when you're working with marketing agencies, most of the times marketing agencies run everything like ads, social media, data, and everything on their own platform. And they say, okay, yeah, we are just because of these things, because of the, I don't know, security, because of that one, we do everything on our own. And they are very happy until that you just got off their contract with them. And then they say, okay, so we cannot give you this sort of data, or we cannot pass you the domain. But that is whole the reason. When you start to work and collaborate with other marketing, with any marketing agencies, I'm always suggesting you to buy and just get the owner access of all your accounts. There is a reason. You are investing your money, your time, your commitment, everything to run your business and run your marketing. Like that, you are paying money to Google for your Google ads. You are paying money to Meta for Instagram, Facebook ads. You are paying to any marketing agencies for SEO, for everything. So what does that means? That means that you just put credit, you invest credit, you create credit, and everything for your data. Like that, after about 3 years or 4 years, once your domain comes to the first page on the Google, when someone search for dentist near me, see, imagine that how much money you invested. And once you just say, okay, I don't want to work with your marketing agency anymore, and you just cut off your contract, they say, okay, sorry, we cannot give you the domain back anymore. But you paid to that for that SEO. And after that, these are all your business assets. Your domain is your business assets. Your Facebook and Instagram page is your business asset. Your email list, your all the leads you get are all your business assets. Some marketing agencies says that, okay, you know what, we have a platform and we can connect it to your Google ads, and all your leads comes to us. You can check with the platform. You can say, okay, perfect, I love it. But there is a thing. When you get your leads, for example, from Google, you Google has its own platform to check your leads. Meta, Instagram, Facebook has its own platform to check your leads. You can say, okay, so I can check my leads. So I wanted to have access to all my pages, domains, and Google Ads, Meta Ads, all of them. But you can, I give you management access to manage it, not to own it. That's difference. That is the reason. So me and James, we are always having this kind of problem. So some clinics, they just do not work with any with their previous market agency, and they just calling us as you, James, remember that on PDC. So one of our clients, they just go, oh my God, so the market agency doesn't give us the domain access and everything just messed up on my website. What should I have to? What you have to do? You have to think about this before sign a contract and give all your assets to other company. That's very important thing.
And it's smart that you bring this up because again, it's educating you on the things that you need to know before you start working with someone, but also the right questions to ask to make sure that these all check off your check boxes, right? And make sure that you feel secure with and working and having a partnership with an agency for sure.
Yeah.
This one here,
Oh,
marketing does not
yeah.
always equal new patients. So Ben, I'm gonna let you run with this one.
Yeah, exactly. So that is a key relation between marketing and new patient, because some dental clinics, some of them, not all of them, some of them, they just think that, okay, so I wanted to start running marketing from tomorrow, and then from tomorrow I expected to get calls. No, for sure. No. I just want to break your mentality, and it's not true, because marketing is not meaning you get new patient. For sure, you get leads. For sure, you get calls. You get email. You get new patient. But it's not meaning that you get new patient from tomorrow morning. So same as this picture explained. So there is a traffic, leads, and sales. They just start to be filtering step by step. And at the end, what convert a new lead or convert the lead to the new patient is your receptionist. Okay, that's many things. I mean, it's the operational of the clinic. That's important. We can just send you billions of calls, but as again James mentioned before, when your clinic doesn't have a potential to handle all of these new patients, what do you want it to do? When your receptionist doesn't answer the phone or just takes time to reply back to the new lead, so what should we have to do? When your time are different, or when you just have, there is a billions of points in between. So but before fixing those, a marketing person can not do anything. They can just send you phone calls, new lead, emails, new patient form, and all of this, but it's not meaning that they are just sending you just catch a guy that who's running in the street. Okay, come to this clinic, you are new patient. No, no one can do that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and I agree, and that's why that and you and I were discussing this picture as a whole, because this is really what it is we have a target audience here, so we want to drive traffic to us, right? So we're putting out that advertising, whether it's Google Ads, social media, however that campaign is. Maybe we're using tools like EngageB or patient communication to send out friends and family promotions, so on and so forth. We're casting the net wide, right? And then all of a sudden, we're going to find some low-hanging fruit there. We're going to have some leads that self-identify that they actually need to service, and they will call and they will start asking the questions. And then, Ben and I were talking. I said it's no different than really any other business that's out there, because you're always going to get people who either just want information, which is good because this gives you an opportunity to be able to talk to them, create a relationship with them, even though that can be very, very short on that call, or they're kicking tires, asking for prices, so on and so forth. So what we're doing in this lead in the middle pan there is we're qualifying. We're qualifying the best pieces of spinach to make our dinner with here, right? So that's exactly what we're doing. And when we take it from qualifying to converting is the actual sale itself. Now, sales a very generic type thing. I like to call it conversion because, again, sometimes you're going to have enough leads and you're qualifying people, and 1 month you have no new patients to account for, but the next month you might have 12. See, that's the thing is these are the types of waves that we run. But one of the points that Ben had brought up there about the receptionist, and I'm very, very partial to receptionists. I love our admin teams. You are the front line, and you guys are the ones that really control and dictate the traffic and how the office is run. I had one office, and again, this was a few years back, that was paying an American company. It was stupid. The amount was something like $4,000 or $5,000 US per month to get them leads. And when they would get their report at the end of the month, they weren't even for the first 2 months, they didn't convert anybody. So I was having the conversation with them, finding out that they were getting about 70 to 80 calls per month. And then I was talking with the admin team as, okay, so when someone calls and they're asking about, the price of what a crown would be, what is your response? And the response that I got back was, well, we just tell them, we base our prices off the BCDA fee guide. It's expected to be this. And usually that's the end of the conversation. So what that was doing was it was closing an open door before we even had a chance to really speak to them. So when we were kind of going back and forth and trying to kind of just to, I almost said brainwash, but you know what I'm trying to say. Brainstorm. That's what I'm trying to say. When we were brainstorming together, one of the points that we came up with was if we can switch that conversation for when people are coming in or when they're calling in to actively get them into a lead and into the chair. So for an example, Ben calls me and says, hey, I saw your ad. That's awesome. You guys are actually right in the area. I'm needing a crown. How much is a crown? My response could be, well, it sounds like you definitely need some help there with that tooth, and we want to make sure that's just it, and there's nothing else outside of that. So why don't we actually just get you in for a free exam? Do you have some availability next week so we can get you in? We just want to make sure again that we're looking over everything. We'll give you a estimate there on the spot, but in case there's any extra work, then we can build a treatment plan for you for overtime, maybe set up a payment plan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that patient is now more looking forward to actually booking and seeing what it is? Of course they are. So we're not closing the door on that lead. We're actually reopening that door even wider, saying, come on in, let's create that relationship. Let's spend some time with you. Those are the patients that eventually we can convert to a brand new patient that eventually systematically with time can build them to be a lifelong patient altogether. Exactly. Location decides your channels. I'm going to let Ben run with this one because this is his strong point.
Yeah, exactly. Same as I always mention to all our new clients, potential clients, even that our own clients, that they just something changes in their location. So you know what? First of all, let's look at the location, because location is the answer to all our questions about marketing. And that's very important. As an example, I just put 3 different category of the location here, like that family dense, on these kind of locations that there is lots of family living, or the houses are just one family houses and this kind of thing. I always said, you know what, let's go with the flyers, or let's go with Google Ads. Google Ads is always answer to these kind of people. They are always, it's a solution to them. They love to just check out everything on Google. They are still Google people. They are not Gen Z yet to the Meta ads or something. They are Google level. They trust it. So that is the thing. Let's go with Google. And on your Google, put some coupons or put some of your before after or something like that, because it's very important. Like reviews. Reviews are very important. Another one that I just want to talk about is the high competition urban side, like the Vancouver city or downtown in the Vancouver, that lots of competitors, lots of dental clinics. So again, if you wanted to catch the patient right now, I'm not meaning from the next second, I'm meaning that in the next couple weeks or 3 weeks, if you wanted to get more patient in this kind of thing, you have to start Google Ads. But if you wanted to just keep your business running for the next 10 years, 5 years, something, go with SEO. Okay? SEO nowadays is very important, especially when the new AI search engines comes, or new AI is coming, and Google, Bing, all of this. SEO is very important, because these kind of people that who are living in these competition areas, they are always in rush. They are always wanted to get an emergency. They wanted to have some sort of clinic near me. They're looking for this kind of thing. Also, another thing that I wanted to mention to the clinic owners in this area is online booking. Online booking is very important for them, because most of them are working from 9 to 5. They are busy. They are just in the traffic, and they just wanted to book the time right away, to either just send an email to their manager or just put there in the schedule that, okay, so I just want to make sure that I book an appointment this time, not request an appointment, book an appointment. Some websites that when we just check, they say, okay, book now. But once you tap on the book now, it just open up the form to request an appointment, and probably some of them gonna call them back. But if your clinic in the area of the high competition and in the center or in downtown or these kind of places, put the online booking so they can book right away. The next one is the new development area, that new movers coming, and I don't know, new generation stuff. So they are just looking for this thing like that, and they just want to go with the community trusted dental clinic. So they want to ask then all the neighbors, where are you going for the new dental clinic, where are you going for these things. So you have to engage more with your community, as what James mentioned again with the experience he had. So you have to just make more engagement with the community, like if there is any park, just buy a booth, a small booth for $500 and put it in the park, or support community, like just if there is any volleyball team, if there is any soccer teams, sponsor them up. So always be visible in your community.
Yeah,
That's how that you get your patients. That's very important.
well, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and I like what you said there about utilizing the online booking tool as well, because again, it cuts down on the amount of calls. It allows the patients to book that next recall appointment based on their availability, and not everyone is available at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. when the office is closing, or at 9 a.m. when the office is opening, right? So, no, that definitely makes sense. Can you tell these good folks that are listening today all about the marketing tools?
Yeah, marketing tools, that one is also very important thing. So we have lots of marketing channels, like email marketing platform, like newsletter, campaign, patient reactivation. These kind of thing are the email that we just send e-blast. Like that, when you have some, there is lots of softwares and lots of platform like the Engage that we have. So you can send e-blast to your patients that are not active and just tell them, okay, so here's a new promotion, happy to come back again. Or if you have any sort of coupon, just send them as an email. That's going to work them a lot, especially for patient reactivation. That helps a lot. The second one is a social media, like that, just publish some post and just do some ads. Another thing that's important for your social media, especially nowadays, is that use real pictures and video. Okay, because of AI, there is lots of pictures that generated by AI. I'm not saying you it's bad. No, it's very good, but use also some real pictures. While that you're walking to go to your clinic, just 5 seconds, record a video and publish it on your social media, because it's gonna help the people around you, even in the community. Probably nobody knows your clinic location, but some of them knows where is, I don't know, for example, Joy is beside you. So based on the Joys, they're gonna find your location to your clinic too. So social media is very important right now. The third one is a paid ads platform like Google Ads, Meta Ads Management, Campaign, Bid Strategy, and these kind of things. So if you are in that kind of personality who's trusting everyone's professionals, so marketing people know that. But again, one thing for clinic owners I want to mention about paid ads platform, again, make sure that you are the owner of all your paid ads platform. Make sure you are the owner of them. That's very important. Second of all, the about the budgets and everything, make sure that all your campaigns, either if you do by yourself or another marketing agency doing that, make sure that it's aligned with your budget of the marketing. That's very important, and it's not gonna hurting you in the future. Oh my god, I paid too much to, for example, Google Ads, but do not get leads. No, make sure every month you check your campaign. Either the campaign is just for a phone call or search visit or something. Make sure you check your impression, conversion, everything. The search engine optimization, which I mentioned before, SEO, very important. Make sure that for the SEO, make sure you are using the right keywords. Make sure you are replying to all your reviews on your Google business profile. Make sure about this kind of thing. These are very important. And the last one is the analytics tools that all the platforms has, and we have our own analytics tool, which is that we just check the location, traffic, everything. And we, for example, once you start SEO with us, we're going to give you an access of this platform, and you can check your ranking every month. that where is my ranking right now for these keywords. Make sure you use the analytics tools to check everything. And the next slide is that one that James is a master of it.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna quickly run through this as well. I know we're getting a little tight for time. One of the biggest things that we are also trying to uncover when we're talking to somebody, especially for the first time, is growth versus consistency. Like, what clinic are you, right? So a new build clinic has a different set of strategy than an established clinic, right? So here under the first point with needs, again, a clinic that's looking for new patients needs the visibility, needs the reach, and the conversion. So again, as Ben, just to kind of prop that up, is again thinking Google Ads, SEO, offers, fast online booking, trying to get that turnover. Clinic with a full schedule needs stability, and that's a whole different thing. So using retention, our recall systems, our reputation management, and smoothing out cancellations. That is the goal, essentially, for an established clinic. So there's different risks that come with this as well. New patient clinics, they risk empty chairs if their marketing slows down. And I've literally seen this with a few offices that I've talked to over the years, where again, like I said, it's not a one and done. This is a strategy and a system. Established clinics, they also risk overload and burnout and churn if they're attracting too many and they're having to turn people away. Well, that can adversely affect you as well. So where's the soft spot? Where's the spot where we want to be, so it doesn't hamper our operations, but it actually improves it and creates more efficiency for us and keeps those chairs full. And then there's the obvious, different budgets and different priorities, right? So new patient clinics, they invest more in acquisition channels than an established clinic, because again, they're out there trying to make a name for themselves, and there's going to be more of an investment for them. Full schedule clinics will invest more in retention tools, things like using their CRM or their software in a more complete way, using automated reminders like patient communication, patient experience upgrades. So for an example, like with our patient communication with EngageB, just the ways that I can utilize that tool to reach out for me instead of starting a full marketing campaign if I didn't need one, is using the text and e-blasting capabilities, right? I can send out that bulk message. Maybe we're having a new associate join us, or we're doing something really fun for the community, the things that we want to blast out and let the community know what we're doing, aside from holiday hours and things like that, right? But we can really also blast out promotions, friend and family promotions. Bring a friend or family member, you'll get 10% off your next visit. Our new patient that's joining the clinic, they'll get a free exam. Like, there's just different ways to utilize this. Using that automation, you can build these things now, and based upon your marketing strategy, I can actually have it sit in EngageB and time this out to go out on this date at this time automatically for me. Set it, forget it. I don't have to worry about it. My tool is actually taking care of this for me, just in case I'm too busy or I'm on holidays, right? Using the filters, the blast filters that are inside of the program itself, segmenting your audience based on the filters that you want to use and what criteria and what categories that they fall under, just so we can not have something that goes out to a set group that it doesn't need to. So for an example, I have a few offices as of late that have been putting together low income and CDCP type blasts and mailers that are going out, A, for educational purpose, B, to make sure that when they come in, they already have everything renewed, but also it's taking care of them. It's showing that you care about them, and I want you guys to know, right? So utilizing all these different things within inside of your own tools goes a long way, and even just having the ability to two-way text somebody other than your own personal phone up at the front, to be able to say, you know what, hey Carol, I was thinking about you the other day. We have this promotion that's coming up, or you know what, I found that appointment that you were looking for. Pulling up that patient satisfaction as well helps you word of mouth for them as they're talking about you, where someone's not going on Google and trying to siphon through 30 different reviews and try and figure out what type of clinic you are. That word of mouth also is a big thing. And then again with the online booking, that's again a huge tool, because that gives you the versatility for patients who aren't available during the times that you're open to be able to book their own appointment based on the category that they are. If they're a brand new patient, they select from our online booking, they would select new patient. It would give them already a set space of saying that this is 6 units, because we have to do a full exam, we have to do a checkup, like all the things that we need to do, and we'll only allow them to book in the spots that you have already associated, that you've defined for what a new patient would, and for what that scheduled appointment would look like. And even utilizing again the same online booking link with inside of your patient communication tool. You don't even have to have it on your website. Well, you should have it on your website, but you don't have to. With inside the patient communication tool, we can actually put that link in there for, say, things like recalls, right? So an automated recall reminder will go out to the patient saying that your expected anniversary date is coming up. Please give us a call so we can book you in for your next checkup, or click the link below and book your next appointment. So the way that our tools are built is to recognize who that patient, who the message is going out to. So when they click that link to go book, it knows who it is that the message is associated to. And even for a new patient, if they fill out their information online and submit that, not only can they book the appointment, but also that information will automatically be entered into Maxident as well. So again, it's the efficiency, but it's also allowing you to have those right tools if that's what you need. Just moving over to the next slide here. How do you even know if any of this is working? So Ben, I'm going to let you run with this one.
Yeah, so no, that's a very important slide, because so far that you are talking about marketing channels and how to invest, budget, and this kind of thing. But at the end, that once you started after about 3 months, something you want to check it out. Okay, so I just want to know that is this working or not? Like that, there is at least I just categorize 6 of them, but it should be more. So the first one is the new patient volume. Exactly as what I mentioned. So the marketing is not equal to new patient, but it is gives you some lead. At least after that, you can exactly understand and figure out, okay, so new patient comes in, so how many new patients I get this month, so how many calls I get, how many leads I get from, for example, from my website, and at the end, how many of them converted to the new patient. And then you can exactly figure out the conversion rate in your clinic. That's very important. So the next one is the website appointments request. So website appointments request, social media follower growth, patient recall and return calls, Google business profile calls, and direction. These are all your data that at the end you have to count it, that how many of them converted to the new patient. And then you can exactly find what is the problem. Me and James, we went to Vancouver, I think before PDC, we went to Vancouver and we went to one of the clinics that he said, okay, Ben, you know what? Every month we get almost 35 to 50 calls, but we have new patients. I said we have just about 10 new patients. And James, we just looking at each other and said, okay, we know what is the problem, but what is the problem exactly from your side of view? They said, okay, so the phones are not really converted to new patient and we are not happy with the marketing. I said, so, okay, you're not happy with the marketing because your calls doesn't convert it to the new patient. What do you mean by that? I say, yeah, because before we get a monthly 30 to 50 new patients. Right now we do not get that much, and we also pay too much to the marketing. So you are paying too much. And marketing means what? You are paying too much to Google ads, to Meta ads, for SEO. What exactly? They didn't know that. Either that they didn't know their conversion rates before and now. They do not know that exactly, so where they get the patient from. And so that is the thing. You have to just have this kind sort of data. So, and it's very easy. Just put a paper beside each of your receptionists with the pen and say, okay, so every call you get, just ask them, how do you find us? Either it's by the billboard, is it by the Google that you're searching, is it by the Instagram scrolling? Easy, easy to ask them. So how do you find us? So then you can see that, okay, so is my social media finding more, or Google review? It's very important. You have to make sure that always just reply your reviews and make sure that always you're in the top of the reviews. Same as what James mentioned on the patient recall and return rate. That's very important. Okay, that's so important. And at the end, so Google Business Profile calls, for example. So some marketing agencies, they just open up the Google Business Profile as an owner for your business. We had this experience before with James for a dental clinic in Vancouver. They open up the owner as an owner, and they give access to the as a manager to the clinic owner. And I said, so what, how do you analyze and check and everything? He said, yeah, we do not even check it out. It's been many years. It's been many years that you do not check just tap on a button beside your Google business profile. It's very easy. So always make sure that you're checking your data. Make sure that at least as much as possible, check out that when you get calls or leads, where does it come from? How the people finding you? And based on all of these, every 3 months or every 6 months, you change your marketing steps and your marketing channel. That's very important. So same in the next slide. That's very important. That's the key in marketing. There is no universal best channel. Your location analytics tells you which channels to test first, so your budget goes further faster. Location, location, location. We heard about many dental clinics that they mentioned to us, okay, Ben, James, we do many marketing, we do lots of invest lots of money onto Meta, for example, onto Instagram channels, because this clinic also invests in lots of money and they get patient. It's not meaning that because they are spending money, you also get the leads too. You two are totally different. Make sure your vision, your capability, your capacity, make sure you check all of them and do marketing. It's
100%.
same as what the been mentioned.
But Ben, one does not simply put a keyword on their website and rank on Google, right? Like, it some of the back end is what a lot of people they don't know how all the technology works, how it all comes together, and how this syncs up, right? So one thing Ben and I were talking about was the importance of your website is when we have keywords that are associated, when those searches come through, those keywords will bring you as being someone who falls under that category based on that keyword itself, right? But these keywords can change over time. And this is something that Ben does. I know is you look at the keywords, you look to see what's popular, what's moving, over that time frame. Suggest to the office, maybe we should change this to this, get a little bit more engagement. Keep certain ones there because again, like an emergency dentist near me, of course, if you have the capacity to take on those patients, you want to make sure that those things are there. But it's not as simple as let's add in some keywords. Let's let the algorithms of the internet take over, and hopefully someone who Googles us, we're the first hit off something very generic. That's just not how it works. So there's a lot of things that take place behind the scenes, doing backlinks to educational information. So when someone clicks on that again, you could be someone in the area as an authority figure. So for an example, we were just talking to an office in Alberta. And that was one of their main things, is that they are building their website with a whole bunch of educational pages and material. So when people go to search for that, they automatically come up in that list. Whether or not they come up first, second, or third, we don't know. It just there's certain things that we work on, and Ben can explain that at a later date and in more detail. But once they started understanding how these things work and how they all tie together, that's the main thing, right? SEO is more of a long-term strategy. That's your forever strategy, right? The ads, they will bring in quicker results faster for you on a more immediate basis, but you should have a good strategy with both if they're both needed, right?
Yeah.
So again, the meme kind of fits the story I just gave in the example. Um, and then we'll just skip over to the next slide here. So Ben, you can mention this. Today you went online. I don't think anyone here is from Hastings, but you did an analyzation of everything, correct?
Yeah, I just analyze and I want to go through that very fast. But after the webinar, me and James, we're gonna just shoot a video and go through analyze analytics about 3 to 5 dental clinics, and we will upload it on the YouTube channel. We'll send you the link to check it out. That how does it working and these things. That is something really new to us, and we love to do that. But for now, I just use this one as a sample and I'm gonna go through one by one. So let's go with that one. The first thing is that on every businesses, especially the dental clinics, we have to check out their Google Business Profile, or we call it GBP, Google Business Profile. So let's go through this one step by step. First one is the Hastings Dental Center with ER. uh 164 reviews, that's good. So 4.6, that's perfect. So they have a location, but something that's very eye-catching is the opening hours. That every day they have different opening hours. Especially that, could you please tap one more, James?
Yep.
And especially because they are in a very competitive area. So not competitive area, as you can see the dental clinics around them. So the people wants to know, for example, they wanted to know that, okay, so Hastings Dental Center, yeah, they are opening on weekdays from 8 to 5 and weekends they are closed. That's easy to remember. But it's, for example, it's Thursday and I just want to book an appointment, and as far as I know, they are every day opening from 9:30. And then I just shocked. So why they are open from 11 to 7 on Thursday? What is the reason behind this? No one knows. And they are closed on Sunday. And so see, it's very complicated to remember your opening hours. For sure, once they are not, they are just on Thursday at 10 a.m. Once they are checking and see that you're not open, they just move to the second option they have and they're gonna book from that. So another point that their Hastings Dental Center with ER, but their logo is with RE. That's not. That's a very bad point for SEO. Very important point too. So you have to make sure that your clinic name is same as the logo name. Name, address, and phone number should be same everywhere. So let's, for example, on to their Google Business Profile. James, could you please just put my video on the other side? I just want to show the phone
Sure.
number.
I didn't even know you could see the video on your
Yeah,
side.
I can see myself too. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, good. So as you can see here, their phone number is 604-251-5993. But the blue one, the blue picture beside it is the footer of their website. And the numbers are not same. Name, address, and phone number should be same all over the online channels. All over the online channels. So again, if you look at the age range around this clinic, most of them are 20 to 34 years old. The next one is 35 to 41, and 90% of the people are employed, which means that once they do not have that much time to call you and just take an appointment and just call you, talking to you, and take an appointment from you. They just want to go with the online booking, but you do not have, this clinic doesn't have any online booking. And when I check their website, they have request an appointment. They do not have the online booking. Even that, if imagine that you have the online booking, there is no link on the Google business profile to add this, to just tap on it very easy. So another thing, there is lots of schools beside them, and these kind of schools are your next patients. So you have to make sure that you have some plans for these kind of schools. There is lots of primary schools beside them. There is lots of daycares. For example, for daycares or for primary schools, just go to the school and just distribute them the calendar and mention them, okay, if you wanted to have free toothpicks or free toothbrush, let's just make sure that every night when you just toothbrush, just mark it over here, and end of the month come to my clinic, I give you one toothbrush for free. See, this kind of a small idea brings patient to your clinic, and children do not come to the clinic alone just to take the toothbrush. They come with their parents to your clinic to take the toothbrush, and which means that their parents come to your clinic and they refer you, and they're gonna be your next patients. Just tap on one more, James, please. Thank you. So the houses around them are 30% single family, 21% a small apartment, something. So it's very diversified with the houses category. So yes, if they wanted to distribute flyers, that's good. That's okay. But for sure, Google Ads gonna work for them way better. For sure. If they wanted to have this business for next 5 years, 7 years, they better to start the SEO right now. So these kind of, so that is whole the reason we always mention, if you wanted to start your marketing or if you wanted to invest your money onto the marketing, first check the location around you. Location is the answer to all your question about marketing. So it's a small thing that I just wanted to share with you, but for sure there is lots of more data we can just grab from this, and we can just make more marketing plan for this clinic. Yeah, that's all the thing I just want to just tell you at the end.
Appreciate that, because that breaks down and puts a visual representation of the things, the key metrics that we look at as well, right? And helping the office to determine what their strategy and what their plan is going to be at the end of the day. So for the offices that we'll do the free assessment on as well, and the free analyzation, what Ben and I will do is we'll set up a meeting with you. We'll go over all of these metrics, the tools that we use, how we pull this, and how we think, and we'll see if your strategy is matching exactly what it's seeing here. Go over some of the things that have really worked for you, maybe some things that haven't, and then actually have a good conversation with insight as to what we offer. But it's also to make sure that you have the right support and staff and people behind you that care about your clinic to grow it as well. Yeah, just flipping to the last screen here. If any of you have seen Office Space, you will know who this guy is. 100%. Again, someone that we've all seen, that we recognize. But Ben and I had a good laugh, because if you could get our website to #1 on Google over the weekend, yeah, that would be great. Again, not realistic, but sometimes this is the starting point of where we're at. And it can either be a small hill or a big mountain, depending on the needs of the clinic and what you want us to do and how we can help, right? So again, at the end of the day, Ben and I just really wanted to say thank you, right?
Thank you.
Just for joining us. A great marketing doesn't start with a campaign. It starts with understanding your community, know your location, own your accounts, test the right channels first. That couldn't be truer words that are said. And again, just by joining us for today, again, the overview was just to give some purpose, look at some ideas, trigger some thoughts, maybe have you go reanalyze what you're doing, and then we can have some conversations. That would be great. And then like Ben said, is we're going to do a series of these where we're going to dive deep, like black belt level SEO and what that means, and how do we, utilize our social media. And I haven't responded to one Google review in 3 years. Well, you know what? We're going to show you what you need to do and the things that you need to focus on. And then, of course, with the advertising for Meta and for Google as well. So we'll do a big mini series here. Ben, did you have anything you wanted to add here at the end?
I just wanted to say thanks to everyone who's joining us today. And this video is going to be uploaded on the YouTube channel. You can go to our YouTube channel and check out all the webinars we had, either me, James, and all other colleagues that we have. So that's all. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for everything, guys. We hope you have a great Canada Day. We'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.